And I already know, Rob G, let's just start. NBA playoffs. We had a barn burner. We had a good game yesterday. We did. I told you, take the Pacers plus 10.5. I was sitting pretty, even though the Pacers choked down the game. They should have won the game. They still won it for the bettors, Rob G with the 10.5. But they didn't. They lost. But, of course, the big story is, the Celtics, they looked awful. Look at the Celtics. I can't believe that they almost lost at home to the Indiana Pacers. They're not going to win a title. They're going to struggle their way through the Eastern Conference Finals again. Wowsy, woo-woo. And you know what, Rob G? That's what you sounded like talking about this.
That's what I sounded like.
Yes.
Okay.
What is this with the style points? This is the postseason. Win and move on. What are you going to do? Lament if they won by 30? But then what does that mean? Nothing. What did I tell you about pro sports? There's two things on the menu. Wins and losses.
It's a short menu.
Very, very short menu. That's all that's on there. Rob, do you really have an issue with the way the Celtics battled back to win that game? They should feel good that they won that game because they shouldn't have won it.
Rob, the fact that you used the term battle back is the problem because they did not do anything to battle back. Indiana vomited all over themselves in the last 30 seconds of regulation. They had 2 turnovers in the last 27, okay? Including one with 10 seconds left where all they got to do is inbound the ball and basically the game is over. So not only does Rick Carlisle not call a timeout to move it to the advance of the front court, but then whoever was inbounding decides, you know what? I'm going to throw it to Pascal Siakam, who's running in a dead sprint towards his own basket, where even if he catches it, he runs out of bounds.
No, I said that. They
melted
choked.
down. They choked.
They did choke.
Rob, they became the first team since 1998 to lose a playoff game despite inbounding the ball up 3 with the final 10 seconds of the game.
No, I believe that. I mean, that's a choke job. There's no doubt about it. But my point to you is Boston got the W. And because once they got the breaks, they still had to win it in overtime. I watched, right? Did they not win it? Did they not make big shots?
They did.
Tatum made big shots. They made big shots. And even when you get the assists from the Pacers,
that was a
to
hell of
help
an assist.
you win.
That was a lob.
I know.
They threw it a slam dunk.
But Jaylen Brown still has to make that 3. I mean, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if I'm a Celtic, sure. Was it pretty? Was it a bow? Oh my God, it was a nice 30-point blowout. This is going to be a 4-game sweep. Why won't we accept and acknowledge that the Pacers are pretty good? Can we do that?
Sure, but here's the thing, Rob.
Are they pretty good?
They are a
good team.
A very good offensive team.
They are.
And what they did yesterday and what they've done throughout the playoffs, outside of a few games here against New York, is they force you to play their style of basketball. And it's easy to slip into this up-tempo track meet style because it reminds you of playing a pickup game. Right? So you don't have to worry about being structured and playing a lot of defense and grinding out possessions like you do in most playoff games, like we'll see it later tonight, actually, with Minnesota and Dallas. It's going to be a totally different brand of basketball. The Pacers like to go up and down, jack up a lot of threes, and Boston fell into that trap. And that's why they were not able to really put their foot on their throat because they were playing the Pacers style.
And we've seen Boston with the threes, and when they don't make them, they get in trouble, right?
Yes.
It's a big part of their offense. But I get it. Everybody wants style points. Everybody expects. Every time the Celtics lose, and they did not lose.
They should have lost.
But every time they lose, people go, oh, see, there you go. I get it, why people don't have confidence in them going into everything. But to be honest, no matter who makes it out of the West, the Celtics have more experience. They've been to the finals, right? They're kind of battle tested. They should be looked at as the favorite. I'm dead serious going in.
Well, Rob, here's the issue with Boston is your perception of them based on last night's game is going to be determined by your expectations. You kind of just alluded to it. You are not expecting a whole heck of a lot from Boston in the finals. Like you kind of already decided you're off of them. They shoot too many threes. There's something about them that you don't like. So I'm assuming that whoever comes out of the West, you're probably going to pick them over Boston. I'm assuming.
Probably, but not definitely. Okay. And here's my other issue. It's just that why do we expect like the Celtics have to blow people out or win every game? Like
because they're playing the junior varsity, Rob.
But this is not who they are. They've done this over and over again. How come we can't accept that this is who they are?
Because all of the analytics, which I don't like, but they're out there, say that this Boston Celtics team not only was the best team in the NBA this season, they are arguably one of the best teams in recent memory. All of the advanced stats, all of the numbers say that this Boston Celtics team is elite, that they should be heavy favorites to win the NBA championship. And what we've seen in this playoffs is, especially when you compare them to what we've seen in the Western Conference with Minnesota, I know Denver's out, but with Dallas, even OKC, that they looked the part of a championship team, at least in spurts in their series.
I get it.
Boston hasn't looked like that at all.
Yeah, but all they do is keep winning, and I know it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel right, but Rob G, sometimes you just have to take the W's and keep going. No style points. Hey, I told you, nobody wants to hear it, but winning and losing, that's all there is in sports. There's no style points. You win by 35. Does that mean you're going to win the next game?
No.
Does that mean you're going to win the championship, the NBA Finals? No. None of that matters. When they got given an opportunity, guess what? They came up big. Jaylen Brown with a ridiculous 3. And then Tatum made big shots in overtime to help them win. That's what you look for. Those are the signs to me that if you don't put this team away, Rob G, they'll come back and they'll beat you. And they got players who can make that happen. And that's what we saw to me last night. If I'm the Celtics, I'm feeling great.
I don't know how you can feel great.
How?
I don't know how you can feel great.
They won.
But they didn't play good, Rob. Like, they're being judged on a different metric.
Can they play better?
Absolutely.
Okay, then that's the good thing.
But they haven't.
They didn't play well, but they didn't play well and they won. They're going to play better. This is what I was telling Chris when he was ready to write off the Nuggets. Okay? Is that did the Nuggets play well in those first 2 games at home?
No.
And I said they're going to play better.
Right.
And then they won the next 3.
The numbers were in their favor.
Right, they were going to play better.
Mm-hmm.
And the Celtics are going to play better. They're not going to play like this the entire series. And if you're the Pacers, you can feel awful because you gave up one. You did.
Oh, yeah.
And it could have changed the series.
It really would. It was eerily similar to that Cleveland Golden State final. Remember LeBron at like 51 points and J.R. Smith forgot what the score was and got the rebound on the free throw and dribbled it out. And it was like, hey, that was their game to get. If they were going to get a game and make this a series,
right,
Cleveland had to get that game won. They blew it, ultimately getting swept. That could happen with Indiana. I don't think it's going to happen because I think Boston is going to find a way to trick another game away because they are an unserious team relative to their expectations. Expectations are for them championship. They have not looked like a championship team at all in this playoff.
I got it. But what they did do is when you open the door, they came in and they took a win that they shouldn't have had. Good teams do that. Now, if they would have played like that, Rob G, and Jaylen Brown misses that 3 and they lose, then there's hell to pay, right? Because then you could go back. Winning is the ultimate makeup.
The ultimate deodorant.
If you got blemishes and all that other stuff, you put on makeup.
You got a pop mark.
Right?
You got bags under your eyes.
Monty, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not saying you. I'm just saying winning is the ultimate makeup. Like you could, if you want to really like see what's going on, is you got to do it without makeup.
Monty don't need makeup.
Right,
Thank
Monty?
you.
But you know what I mean?
Yes.
Makeup covers up everything. Rob G, you ever been with a woman that when she takes her makeup off, she looks a little different?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say no.
Okay.
I'll just say no.
What are you doing, Rob? That sounds like a guy who got divorced after 6 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez Louise.
It was longer than 6 weeks, but all right. It wasn't that long.